What's up top 10 fam, hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. And I'm so in love with this series even though it's only part 2 right now. And you're gonna think I'm crazy for making a part 2 to a Zodiac video because I mean there are only 12 Zodiacs. Where the hell is my ass gonna come up with 8 other ones that weren't already in the first one? Well, even the word impossible says I'm possible, guys. I'm literally cringing at myself right now, I'm just gonna stop. These are the top 10 scary Zodiac signs that are the most dangerous, part 2. Starting us off with number 10 are Geminis. Now technically I had to make this number 10 despite them being the least dangerous of all the Zodiac signs. Born between May 21st and June 20th, the twin sign is an interesting one for sure. By nature they are very shallow, anxious and inconsistent, and my dad's a Gemini so I completely agree with the inconsistent thing. He's very forgetful and all over the place, but you know, great guy nonetheless. Now if Geminis were to commit a crime, it would most likely be something to do with stealing or fraud. Nothing too critical, I guess. Apparently they talk way too much, so I feel like that's something that could get you killed or that would make you kill. Say you make a Gemini an accomplice in some evil plan you have and they go blab about it to someone by accident, they get anxious about being snitched on and then kill that person. And I mean rule number 1 of any villainous plan is no loose ends. Infamously dangerous Geminis include Jeffrey Dahmer, quite a bad one, the Hillside Strangler, 12 victims, the Dracula Killer, 7 victims, the Michigan Co-ed Killer, 8+ victims, David Berkowitz, and more. Do these killers just make their own names up? Like, who's giving you these names? Michigan Co-ed Killer? Like, that has no ring to it. Coming in at number 9 is Aquarius. Born between January 21st and Feb 18th, I would never forget about my dear Aquarians, but how dear are you really? For the most part, Aquarians are pretty well behaved, they're charismatic, and they're good leaders. But the one thing you can never do is get on their bad side. Now if there's one thing that is an Aquarian's forte, it's revenge, my friend. When it comes to revenge crimes, Aquarians are all over that. Because they're so charismatic, that lends to their manipulation being high tier. They're known for the hustle and they're also meant to be really talented hackers, so you know, say one day they feel attacked by capitalist society, let's just hack into one of the biggest banks in the world, empty that and call it even. Is that what they're gonna do? Please do that, actually. Now they're good at hiding evidence, so it's unlikely that they'd be caught, and they're extremely rational, so everything would be intricately planned out before anything actually came to fruition. Infamous Aquarians include Kim Jong-II, Robert Hansen the Butcher Baker, 21+ victims, Joel Rifkin, 9-17 victims, the Baton Rouge serial killer, 7+ victims, etc. The lists really do go on for these killers. At number 8 we have the Ox. Yes, we are moving into the Eastern Zodiac signs, or rather Chinese astrology. Now this system is based on 12 archetypal temperaments that are symbolized by 12 animals, and each animal is associated to a year. And the years happen in 12-year cycles, meaning like I was born in 1997, which is the year of the Ox, and the next year of the Ox after that was 2009, 12 years later. Now Western Zodiacs are based on our solar system, whereas the Chinese one is based on the constellations. Now that my introductory astrology course is over, let's continue. Now if you were born in 1973, 1985, 97 or 2009, you are the year of the Ox. Wagwan, brother. Now this is the second sign of the Zodiac and it means you're extremely smart, you're responsible, determined and tenacious. You're practical, competent, and that's problematic. The Ox are stern to a fault. They can be nice, sure, but they also have horrible tempers, meaning once they see red, that is it. If they've set their mind on something, you cannot change their mind no matter what you say. Now if they're the head of an evil plan and their switch goes off, what the hell are you meant to do with that? Like, they hate being contradicted, disloyalty isn't even a thing with them, they will have your head for it. Possessive, stubborn, and vengeful, this sign is not one to mess with. I feel like they're the stubborn mafia boss that pisses all their henchmen off and kills a few just to show that they mean business, but then they end up getting killed and one of the henchmen have had enough of their and they're just like, nope, you die now. I get it. I don't fault you. I would do the same. Except I am an Ox. Filling our number 7 slot is the Horse, and that is you if you were born in 1978, 1990, 2002, or 2014. This is the 7th sign in the 12, and they're actually low-key great. They're almost born and bred to succeed in everything and anything they do, and the Horse is one of the strongest Chinese zodiacs. They're not just the horse, they're the full-on first prize stallion, you guys. They're the center of the party, they're artistic, extroverted, and loyal, but at the same time they're alert always and selfish as hell. hell. The world is their oyster, which I'm not surprised about if they grew up being good at everything, hence the whole entitled attitude. They hurt the ones around them without realizing it, and the whole "a picture paints 1,000 words" is lost on them, because you bet your ass this horse is gonna tell you what's up from A to Z. But in their dark moments, they can't handle things going wrong. They get aggressive. In their darkest moments, they can be absolutely ruthless, which makes them a top dog for power dynamic involving crimes like sexual assault. A sign that's always so used to being on top, in power, and getting what they want will obviously only be dangerous when that is threatened. And that's all she wrote. Now at number 6 is the Tiger, and that is you if you were born in 1974, 1986, 1999, or 2011. Now the Tiger is the third sign of the 12, and as a Tiger, of course, these people have the complete hero mentality, courage, bravery, and all that good crap we all strive to have. Good character, independence, and brutal honesty. The Tiger is very protective of those they care about to a fault. Well, not to a fault. Would you want someone to care about you so much that they'd kill for you? Well, that's the Tiger. They can be careless and act without thinking if provoked, so if you even accidentally threaten anyone they care for, you're done, mate. They can be excessively envious, which means they're known to steal and con people out of money. Identity theft for money is a common one for the sign. They're also overly ambitious to the point they can become cruel and aggressive. I mean, no one wants to be in front of a crouching tiger. I certainly don't. So don't do it. Don't test them. The claws will come out. Coming in at number 5 is the Dog, and that means you if you were born in 1982, 1994, 2006, or last year. Now the Dog is the 11th zodiac out of the 12, and as you can imagine, this sign is extremely loyal. Wow, who knew? These people have personalities that attract everyone to them, so they're used to being liked by everyone, and they know what's right and what's wrong. There's no gray area for them, that's for sure. But on the other side, when they meet people they can't get to like them, when someone doesn't take to them straight away, they can get paranoid and agitated. As a result, they get very possessive of the people they do have and start engaging in unhealthy, toxic relationships, which makes them dependent and depressed. Now, these people are most likely to be involved in crimes as a sidekick. They wouldn't be the mastermind behind the plan, but they would be doing all the dirty work. If it was a Mean Girl situation, the Dog would be Gretchen or Karen, not Regina George from any angle, if that makes any sense. And therein lies the flaw in their loyalty. They're so loyal that if the person they love wanted to do something bad, regardless of whether they thought it was just or not, they would blindly help them. This is the friend you text when you need to hide the body, guys. Remember that. At number 4 is the Rooster. This sign falls on the years 1981, 1993, 2005, and 2017, and is the 10th sign on the list. Now this sign is very stable in their work life and personal life, but they're also perfectionists. Despite being very hardworking, they're just overly critical of themselves and always thinking of how to be better, how to do better, how can I improve, nothing is good enough, and so forth. But I feel like we've all been there, it's not just this sign. Either way, roosters are magnetic. People around them admire them so much, so they get pretty egocentric. The world revolves around them, and that kind of thinking is their fatal flaw. When someone challenges this sign, they become very inwardly and outwardly negative to the point of sadism. They isolate themselves and become more and more obsessed over themselves and how they look and how people look at them. These signs are more dangerous to themselves than they are to others because self-inflicted pain makes them feel like they're getting what they deserve. Egocentrism and the Rooster are one in the same. They're basically the character of the Joker if affected by the right, or rather wrong, environment. Now my friends, that needs no explanation. We don't need the Joker. No. Filling our number 3 slot is the Monkey, and if you're born in the years 1980, 1992, 2004, or 2016, that means you, my friends. Now this one is the 9th zodiac out of the 12, and just simply, they just cannot be tamed. They are the most easily bored sign, meaning they have to be pretty much mentally stimulated all the time. Their memory is out of this world, they're charming, and they're resourceful, and all those qualities can either scream great person or sociopath. It's honestly one of the same. Now when the Monkey is in a dark place, they start getting paranoid and not trusting anyone around them. By this point, they just start full on screwing with people and enjoying it. Nothing is serious enough for them to change their ways after that. They almost become the worst Chuck Bass you could ever imagine. Though the Rooster is the puppet master of the whole game. It's their plan. They don't have to play by the rules because they made them. Honestly, it's almost not even fair since it isn't their fault their minds don't turn off. Monkeys are usually almost always serial crime committers. Now Now at number 2 is the rat, and that falls on the years 1972, 1984, 1996, and 2008. Now this one is the first sign of the Eastern Zodiac, and the rat sign is basically Hannibal, I kid you not. They're charming, highly intelligent, analytical, and their survival skills are unparalleled. These people are always alert, which makes them seem anxious or nervous, but they're far from it, which is what makes them dangerous. Now they don't look like the bad guy or even capable of performing the bad deed, but boy, do not underestimate them. They're almost too natural in any social setting. They make you feel comfortable like you've known them your whole life, but they can use that to easily get information out of you. The rat is secretive and will misguide you without a second thought as long as it benefits them. No one will ever meet their standards, and when that gets frustrating for the sign, they become aggressive and isolative. It's a dangerous sign to trust. It's a great sign to be if you're in the crime industry though, and most of all, this sign will play mind games with you until you lose yourself. They are greedy and selfish, so if you're standing in their way. And finally, at number 1 is the dragon. And if you were born in 1976, 1988, 2000, or 2012, then this coveted number 1 spot is you. This is the 5th zodiac in the 12, and they are actually the sign with the most power, as well as the most powerful influence. Say less, people, say less. Now the dragon is a natural born leader and will stop at nothing to achieve whatever goal they set out for themselves. People love being around them, but that's not really their vibe. They like being by themselves and having their own space, and if you're that one annoying person that just doesn't get that and you get into their bubble, they're gonna tell you to piss right off with no hesitation. This sign is almost neurotic. They try so hard to be happy and focused and unwavering all the time that they can't actually deal with negative energy. If they actually let it seep in, it's like a snowball effect. They become temperamental and demanding and are also the most self-destructive sign there is. It's like they have a fuse, and when that goes off for whatever reason, all hell breaks loose. These people are the ones that you would never expect to do anything dangerous, but that potential is always just teetering under their surface always. The dragon can snap just like that and just lose themselves in themselves, thinking the rules of society just don't apply to them. And I'm just gonna leave you with some food for thought as to what kind of crimes you could commit when you genuinely believe you're untouchable. And that's it for today's video, guys. Now this video was actually very interesting for me to do because I always wanted to learn about Chinese zodiac signs, but I never ended up doing it for whatever reason. But I feel like now I'm so well versed in the Eastern zodiac signs as well as the Westerns that I can just do people's readings. Like, I am a pro now. Now let me know what you guys thought below, and as always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! Infamous Aquarians include Kim Jong-un. Infamous Aquarians include Jim. Yeah. Why you like this? I don't know. Oh, actually no, it's here. Number 6. Number 6. Yeah. Just a quick nap, you know? Midway.